Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. Today, we're watching Torchwood, and quite frankly, it's about time. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello.
We're back.
We're back.
It's hot.
It is hot and it's only June.
Yes. It's due to get hotter. As Elton would say, it's about to get hotter. But yeah, I can't bear the hot weather. I never have. I think you cope with it better than me.
I do cope with it a bit better than you.
Anyway.
But on side note, we saw Little Mermaid.
Yeah, we went to see The Little Mermaid at the cinema.
Very, very good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I think it was very good. I think it was on a par with Beauty and the Beast, or even better, do you think?
Slightly ever so better.
I think better because Emma Watson lets Beauty and the Beast down.
Yeah, she did. And then we went to a Doctor Who based thing.
Well, because we did mention that on our last on the Sarah Jane one. We said that we were about to go to the Doctor Who escape room. Yeah. A Dalek Awakens.
It was a bit of a mess.
How was it a mess?
Ben had a meltdown.
Ben did have a meltdown. My birthday treat, and you had a hissy fit.
I had a proper meltdown.
And why did you have a hissy fit?
Because we didn't win. Because
we didn't manage to complete the room. We got very close. We were on the last activity, the last puzzle.
Yeah. But anywho,
I mean,
would we do one together again? Probably not.
I would. I think you just need to accept that it's a fun experience, even if you don't actually complete it.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I had fun. I thought it was cool.
Incredibly competitive.
Yeah. And the man did say that before we went in. He said, "Are you competitive?" And I was like, and you were like, "I'm very competitive."
Yeah. And then he was like, "Do you want us to try and beat this score?" How the fuck they did half an hour?
Well, those are probably experienced escape room people. This is the first one we've ever done.
Yeah.
I had fun. I just wish you hadn't been like, "Oh my God, Stephen, it's your fault that we lost."
I treated you to a lovely Burger King.
You did, and that made up. Well, it went some way towards making up for it.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, I would definitely do one again. It's just it's quite expensive for what it is, I would say.
£30. £35 it cost me each.
But yeah.
£70 for two of us.
Well, yes.
But the more people in your group, the cheaper it is.
Yeah.
So if it was like 4, it was like 30 quid each.
Anywho.
Let's move on to Orchie Woo.
Well, that's what we're here for. Yeah, so we've continued our watching of Torchwood. We've watched episodes 4 and 5. We've watched Cyberwoman and Small Worlds.
Fucking hate that one.
What, Cyberwoman?
Yeah. So, can we just jump right in with Cyberwoman?
Go on then.
Why the fuck is it Cyberwoman? Okay, I'm not trying to be misogynistic, but I'm sorry, but Cybermen, both women and men, became Cybermen.
Yes, they came uniform, yeah.
Nowhere did they have these kinky bras made out of plastic. Yeah.
That's exactly.
So, I was just thinking to myself, did Yanto make it?
No. Well, maybe. No, I don't think so. I think. Okay, let's be real. It's a train wreck of a costume design.
Oh yes.
They were trying to be sexy, and one of the comments you made was, "Oh my God, it's like someone decided to go to a Halloween party and they're like, I'm going to be a slutty cyber person." Obviously, it's a train wreck of a costume design.
She was 2 seconds away from having a ninny out.
Yeah, all right, but I think if you try and rationalise it, I think what they were going for was, this is a person who has been stopped partway through conversion, and it just so happens that the pieces of metal that have been left look like a bra.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not defending it in the slightest.
The Cyberman conversion discards the human body.
Right.
Doesn't it? It discards the human body and keeps the brain.
Well, this is where it's a bit...
No. Do not bring the classic series into this.
Okay.
I knew that's exactly where you were going to go. Let's not.
Oh, no. Actually, I think they did touch on that in this episode, because they said this was during the battle. They started to use more human parts of bodies. I think Yanto said that.
Ugh. No. Okay. So for me, like, how would I fix her costume? How would I fix her costume?
Chuck it in the bin.
No. What I personally would do if it was me is I would put more clothes on her.
Yeah.
Like, as much as she had a lovely body,
Yeah.
don't need to see it, love.
Yeah. No, honestly, if it had been a normal Cyberman suit, but with the head off or something, and just her head or something like that,
Do you know
would have
what?
been better.
Yeah, maybe. They were trying to do something different.
Yes.
And I think in the process of trying to do something different, they had to retcon Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And that, for me, makes it a cheap episode.
Yeah. No, it's generally not a well-liked episode.
Conceptually, if it was a bit tweaked and like the stylization was tweaked, I think it's good. Because Yanto's performance in this is actually brilliant.
Yeah, he did give a fantastic performance, yeah.
He knows how to ugly fucking cry. Yeah. Like, he looks like... Does anybody know what a Shar-Pei is?
Is it a dog?
It is a dog. It's a very bristly dog. It's got like very thick, spiky fur.
Okay.
And it's called a Shar-Pei. Look at it. Look up a Shar-Pei and tell me his crying face does not look like a Shar-Pei.
Shar-Pei.
He looks like a Shar-Pei.
I totally see it.
So I've just created a meme for Stephen to create.
Oh, poor Gareth David Lloyd. He's
Well,
but no, it's the squidged up eyes, isn't it?
yeah, it's the eyes. It's the But yeah,
Yes.
he gave a very good performance. Oh, it was Lisa, wasn't it?
Lisa, his girlfriend, yeah. One thing I was just going to say with the costume, that I feel like it's yet another example, like Day One, when they were trying to be like, oh, we're so adult, we're going to make it all about sex. And this time they were like, yeah, we're going to make it erotic, because we can't do that in Doctor Who, but we can do that. Yeah.
And also, do you know what I think? Like, she's like heavily based on like fighting game like type of costuming. Like, she had that very skin tight bikini, and then she had those boots, the high
heels.
Fuck's sake.
That's
Most
the funniest bit.
misogynistic
When you see
costume I've
her,
ever heard.
yes, it is misogynistic.
So who played Lisa? Because I want to ask Lisa a question. The person who played Lisa.
Caroline Chikisi.
So, Caroline, if you are a listener to this, you're probably not. How did you feel when you were given this role, and how did you feel when you saw the costume? That's what I want to ask her.
Yes, I'd be very
Did you
interested to
feel
hear.
like, oh, fuck's sake?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, she is a very beautiful woman.
Oh, she is,
Like,
yeah.
absolutely stunning. And I just feel like they just slapped all this plastic on her. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could
Did you
be done
see
much better.
Did you see the chin piece when she was lying down and talking to Yanto? You can see the chin piece flexing, like, because it was meant to look like metal, but it was clearly like latex or whatever.
Yeah, I was a bit... What I can say, Stephen, is I can't wait for the gay storyline.
The gay storyline.
Yeah, can't wait for it.
You get excited when
I love a gay romance.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
But wasn't there that random bit where Jack was like doing CPR on Yanto or something, or like trying to give him the kiss of life, but he was like sticking his tongue down his throat?
Yes.
I actually wrote down the quote that you said when we were watching the episode. You went, "What part of your tongue brings people back to life?"
I am one of those people who have to talk when we watch telly.
You do, yeah. It's
I
okay.
make quick whips because I'm funny. Not really, but yeah.
But you
But you could see he was obviously kissing him.
Yeah.
And then you cut to Gwen and Owen just like making out. I'm like, Gwen, you've made out with a woman in the last whatever episode. You've made out with Owen now. Gwen. Literally, Gwen. You say that you love Reese, but your tongue is in more people's than Reese's. I'd rather not see that.
I think with the Owen thing, I mean, maybe there's an attraction there, but I think it was the fact that they thought they were going to die.
Oh my god, they're so attraction. It's like love to hate.
Yeah.
And they bicker and they're trying to like diffuse the sexual tension.
Yeah, because Owen is that typical like prick, like bad boy, and he's always making horrible comments, like and calling her sweet cheeks and stuff.
Yes.
And she hates him, but she also can't help but find him a bit hot. You also mentioned you've got this thing about the fact that Toshiko was the doctor in Aliens of London.
Oh, you're bringing this up.
And now she's the tech genius.
What a misogynistic fucking twist.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate this choice.
The fact that they've pushed her to the side and made a man doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
They took a woman doctor, shredded her of her title, and put a man as a doctor. That is disgusting.
I hadn't really thought about it like that before, but I think you're right. I think I was Googling it earlier to see if there's anything about any reason why they made that change. Because obviously she was introduced as this character in Aliens of London. Yeah. Russell T Davies really liked her performance, said she's amazing, and so he wanted to use her in Torchwood. But why he then changed her role to be computer genius and brought in a man as a doctor, I don't know.
It would have been more believable. I think when she was diagnosing him... Okay, we're going to another episode.
That's the thing, that's a different episode. But
so when she was diagnosing the death of Creepy Man...
Yeah, this was in Small Worlds, yeah.
Yeah. Puke Man.
Yeah, the pedo.
Yeah.
She was showing her doctor skills.
She was showing her doctor skills, and she was so much more believable than he was, and more than Owen would ever be believable. Like, Toshiko and... What's the actress's name?
Naoko Mori.
Naoko.
Yeah.
Naoko, literally, I think, is one of the carriers of the season.
Oh, she's fantastic. Yeah, she's my favourite character.
Like, I'm going to say something controversial. I find Gwen a bit grating. I find her a bit... I don't like her, if I'm going to be really honest.
You don't like the character?
No, I don't like the character.
Okay.
At all.
I think you're not alone in that.
I think she needs to kind of just be killed off now.
I get what you mean, but I think I like her. But I do get what you mean. I don't
think she blends with the dynamic.
That's kind of the point, though. I think she's supposed to be a bit of an outsider.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Toshiko is my favourite character, closely followed by Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like Jack, actually, because despite what he is and what he has done in the past, in his transgressions...
You mean the actor, yeah?
Yeah, John Barrowman.
Yeah.
He can act.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good actor.
He's very funny because he's... In some bits, he's very good, and in other bits, I'm just like, what are you doing right now? Like,
yeah. But like, when I always think when he's doing an emotional scene, when it's like... When he knows he has to tear the audience apart emotionally, he's good at that.
He is, yeah.
And then the Cyberwoman has made me really like Yanto. Yeah,
Yanto's great as well.
I do like Yanto a lot. Owen's my least favourite, and so is Gwen. I just find her a bit grating. Owen incredibly grating.
Yeah. You're not supposed to like Owen. I think you will probably grow to warm to him a bit more as the series goes on. But yeah.
So can I suggest something?
Yes.
To the wide audience and Russell T Davies.
Okay.
Basically, I was thinking that he should reboot Torchwood.
Right.
And I would not set it in this universe.
Oh, why?
Because I think I would set it in where Rose went.
Okay.
And I would say it that Rose is the head of the organisation.
Okay.
And she is like gathering the alien technology. She's helping aliens get home. She's doing all what she needs to do because she cares for aliens as much as she does. But she also has an ulterior motive. She wants to get back to the Doctor.
She would, wouldn't she?
Yeah. But thing is, though, it would be a great scene, like having there, like where she looks in the mirror and she realizes, like, she's 10 years older. She's got maybe wrinkles, maybe a few grey hairs. But oh no, she's Jackie's child, so she would definitely dye her hair. And then she realizes, like, she doesn't even know if he looks the same. He doesn't even know. She knows about the regeneration. Yeah. And like that, I don't know. I really do think that is a good way. That would be a really good spin on Torchwood.
It would be cool. I mean, of course, it relies on Billie Piper being available and interested.
Billie Piper. Oh my God.
What?
What if when a human woman is pregnant with a Time Lord, she dies, and the baby pushes out the energy and makes the human regenerate?
Oh, okay. Into another form, so you could recast her.
That's good.
Yeah, but then that's a shame. That would be a shame not to have Billy to play Rose. But yeah, she has said.
Oh no, I wasn't saying like to recast her. I was just literally that idea of like, because babies, when you're pregnant with a baby.
Yeah. Ben's literally like clutching his stomach right now, illustrating what being pregnant means.
Okay. I am a cis man. I can't get pregnant.
Yes.
Nor do I want to get anything pregnant.
Anything.
Anyone.
Yes.
Pregnant. Anyhow, but babies they can heal the mother.
Yeah, it's a symbiotic thing, isn't it?
It's been known that stem cells have been sent from the baby to the mother to heal.
Okay. You're very knowledgeable about pregnancy things.
If I was bright enough,
yeah,
I would have absolutely loved to be a gynecologist.
Yeah.
I would have loved to focus on IVF and helping people struggling with infertility to become pregnant. But you have to do the whole doctor thing. You can't just specialise.
Yeah.
You have to go through the whole thing. And like, I was never going to get A's in anything other than art-based stuff.
Well, you do yourself down.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got way off topic.
I love that though.
You were talking about Rose being in a spin-off. What I was going to say was that she has said in an interview that she would be up for doing a spin-off if it was like 4 episodes long and filmed in London. Then she didn't have to go and spend time in Cardiff.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like 4 episodes long, it could be a miniseries. Doesn't have to be this massive arc.
No, yeah, I mean,
this is probably setting up to be.
Cool to see it. Anyway, this is not buying the baby a new bonnet, as my mum would say. Have you not heard that before?
No.
This is my
Do
mum
babies
would say.
still wear bonnets?
No, of course not. My mum grew up in the Victorian times.
Oh, your poor mother.
What?
Your mother is younger than my mother.
I know.
So...
Your mother grew up in the Tudor times.
Mum, do not listen to this boy. You're going to get a clip round the ear, as my mum would say.
Anyway, what else do I still want to talk about in Cyberwoman? I mean, you see Yanto, particularly at the beginning of the episode, you see he's an outsider from the rest of the group.
Mm.
You know, like they were all playing basketball at the beginning, which is a bit weird, playing that in your office, like when you've got valuable
alien
equipment.
technology,
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
One of a kind that cannot be replaced.
And then you've got Yanto on the outside. He's like that does all the menial tasks, and he doesn't feel part of the group. I
always like how I feel about him at the moment.
Yeah,
is that he is Wilfred? Is it Wilfred? Batman, Wilfred.
Alfred,
yeah,
the
Alfred.
butler, yeah,
Alfred. He feels a bit Alfredy.
Yeah,
he's like your cybergun. But I'm sure that he becomes a bigger part.
He does, and I think what happened in that episode goes a long way towards that, because I think that the rest of the team realised that excluding him led to him, you know, hiding things from them and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and like, I'm sorry, I'm absolutely sorry, but I find it very highly unbelievable that he was able to disassemble a Cyberman conversion centre and then rebuild it. Absolutely not. That's the most unbelievable plot point that I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't know. I try not to
And
think
was he a
about
part of
that too much.
Torchwood? Because she was a part of Torchwood, was she not?
Yeah, did he not say that? Was that made explicit in this episode?
That they worked together?
That Yanto used to work for Torchwood 1 in London.
So he used to work for Torchwood 1, now he's a butler?
Yeah, that does get dug into a little bit later in series 2. Explained a bit why that is.
Oh, fun fact, Yanto is a Welsh name.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Not obviously.
I guess it's not obvious, but he's very Welsh, and Yanto Jones is a very Welsh surname, isn't it?
I wish I was Welsh.
Why?
Just imagine me with a Welsh accent.
Just imagine me with a Welsh accent.
Just imagine me with a Welsh accent.
Imagine this podcast, but Ben had a Welsh accent. He'd be like, "Okay, absolutely not. The thing I hated about this episode was blah blah blah."
I do like the Welsh accent.
Yeah, I like a Welsh accent. Speaking of Welsh accents, actually, that's one thing I wrote down that kind of annoyed me. You know, the end of the episode where that pizza woman gets like her brain transplanted.
Oh, I need to talk about this.
Yeah, so Lisa's brain ended up in this pizza woman's body. So when she was herself as the pizza delivery girl, she had a Welsh accent. And then once Lisa's brain was in her, she still had a Welsh accent, even though Lisa didn't have a Welsh accent. So I thought they should have changed her accent to make it match Lisa.
But is your accent produced by your vocal cords?
No, it's your brain. It's how you learn to speak based on, you know, listening to people when you grow up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a mental thing. It's nothing to do with your physical vocal cords.
Cool.
Yeah. So don't you agree? They should have got an actress that could do both and made her swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to think about it logically, yeah. So I hated that part. I thought to myself, do you know what? I thought there was a point where Yanto was going to let her live, but like that girl was young.
Yeah.
Like, just accept your fate. Like sometimes you've just got to accept that you're done.
Yeah,
you're
but that was the story, wasn't it? That like Yanto was desperate to see the good in Lisa and think that she still was Lisa, but she had become this ruthless machine. You know,
like I understand this whole like desperation. It's like clinging on to a love that's obviously has seen better days, and he was clinging on to those golden hours and those golden moments that they've shared together.
Yeah.
And he was holding on so tight to her and the memory of her and the thought of her and everything that she was, that he could not, that was blinding him from what she is. That makes any sense?
it does. Yeah.
He was seeing her through rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was really hoping that like this just random girl had beat this Cyberwoman.
Oh.
And then she becomes part of the group, but...
Yeah.
No.
We also saw more of the pterodactyl, which is so random.
Did she kill it? How did she fucking survive that?
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah. Did she kill
Yeah,
it?
do you know, I can't remember now. It was the other day we watched it, wasn't it? Yeah. But it is so weird and random that they have a pterodactyl in the base.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's one of my least favourite things.
Have we got anything else to say about Cyberwoman, or do you think we've exhausted it for now?
I think we've exhausted it. Were they in a furnace when they were making out? Was that a furnace?
I think it was a...
Morgue?
Yeah, like a body in the morgue, yeah.
That's disgusting. Oh, you talk about... Just one last thing about this episode.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about them wanting to be, like, more edgy and, like, adult. The way she said, I felt your hard on.
Oh, my God.
Didn't need that.
No, it is unnecessary, but it's... Yeah.
It's a bit vulgar.
Yeah, it is vulgar, but... Yeah, he's quite funny though when he's like, "Oh, it's not like a fancier," and she's like, "Oh, come on, I could feel your hard on." Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next episode.
Okay.
Which is called what?
Small Worlds.
What was this one?
The fairy episode.
Oh, my favourite so far.
Is it?
Yes.
That's so interesting because this episode to me, I quite like it, but it feels quite out of place for Torchwood.
So, this is my thing about this episode.
Okay.
Hope people will keep. So this is where Torchwood, I think personally, has started. They were running a very thin line between fantasy and like paranormal than aliens and sci-fi. Like they were leaning ever so slightly more onto the fantasy realm for me.
Yeah.
In this episode.
Oh, they were 100% the fairy thing. Yeah.
Did not fit, did not suit to me. That's why I think you felt like it was odd.
Yeah.
But I kind of loved it because I love that type of thing.
I suspected you might.
I love fantasy is my bread and butter. Like I'm rereading Eragon at the moment. So I have a whole fucking shelf, don't I, Stephen, of like just fantasy books.
More than one shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy is my main genre that I read.
Yeah.
And literally, I really did like this episode. They were a little bit tween creation.
The design?
No, I mean like execution.
What do you mean?
Like having the same fate as Doctor Who. Like they look a bit They haven't aged well.
The CGI is awful. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. It is awful.
Yeah. So
When you see them, when you actually see them clearly in that scene at the end, they look like, do you know the Harry Potter PlayStation games?
yes.
They look like the imps in that. You know,
Oh,
those
yeah,
little
yeah.
things that, yeah, they look so bad.
Yeah, they do. This episode is a really good episode. I really liked it. Jack is amazing in this episode. Especially when Thingy dies.
Estelle.
Yeah.
So the fact that I really like this kind of it shows you Jack's immortality and how long he's been around. That this old woman that used to be his girlfriend, and now he's met her again, and she thinks it's his son because he can't explain it.
So Jack is an enigma for me.
Yeah, I think you're a bit confused.
He comes from the 51st century.
He does.
He comes from the 51st century. His parents come from the 51st century. His parents haven't even fucking been born yet. He comes from some colony outside of Earth. He just crossed paths with the Doctor, and now how did he get off the ship and how far did he go back?
Well,
did he go back to? We saw him in 1909.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
I think you've forgotten what you said to me last episode we recorded, because you went through this massive big theory, and I was a bit.
Oh, he saw
dumbfounded.
Doctor Who. He went back to the start of Torchwood and took it over.
Possibly.
And he's been governing Torchwood this whole time.
Not quite, but it's something like that. Basically, what I will say to you in terms of how he got off the space station is, think before he met the Doctor, what was he? Do you remember?
A Time Lord.
No.
A Time Wizard.
A time agent.
Oh, so he has abilities.
So he is of that ilk that he has some capability.
Oh.
It will be explained in detail,
Yeah.
but not quite yet.
Do you know what? You know the Madame Butterfly? No, the Madame.
De Pompadour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was in this episode, would you get a sex scene?
Oh God, yeah.
If she was in Torchwood, you'd totally get a sex scene.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, that's how I understand Torchwood's demographic now.
Exactly.
And also, they understand that this is aimed at the geeky, nerdy men who like a bit of that.
What are you saying? They don't get it in real life? So
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Because, everyone has their opportunities.
yeah.
But they play video games with massive jugged women.
Like Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider and
Yeah.
Soul Calibur and Tekken.
Okay.
2 games that Stephen don't know because he's...
I know Soul Calibur because you've played that.
Oh, I played
before.
it with you, yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm very good at that game.
All right.
To be fair, I will say, if you've ever played Soul Calibur, I do play, actually, my favourite character is one of the biggest breastest women in the world. And she's wearing this lycra bikini. I'm like, how are they fucking staying
I think
in?
you have a fascination with big boobs, don't you? Because
I used to draw...
your mum said when you started drawing women, when you were
They
getting
were
old,
2 circles.
yeah, 2 massive circles.
I think they've gone down to proportion now.
Yeah. But I just remember your mum saying "Oh, Ben, when you started, it was they're all like Dolly Parton." Anyway, I quite like the music in this episode. It's very Danny Elfman-esque. It's this sort of music boxy sort of fairy tale theme, like it's played on a Celestia probably or something. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention the music because I
Celeste coming from the word celestial. I'm asking, actually.
Yes.
Because it sounds ethereal.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what it is?
A tiny keyboard.
Yeah, it's like a tiny piano that plays bells instead of strings. And it's the Harry Potter theme. It's that instrument.
I thought that was the harpsichord.
What?
I thought it was a harpsichord.
In Harry Potter?
Yeah.
No.
Anyhow.
The main one from Hedwig's theme is a Celeste. Oh. It sounds a bit like a music box.
You need to put £1 in the jar.
I do. I need to put several pounds in the jar. So did we talked about how it's a little bit out of place for the series, but did you like the way that fairies were sort of represented in this universe? Jack said that we call them fairies, but that we don't really know what they're called.
Don't like that. I didn't like this. I loved this episode and the tone and the whimsicalness of it.
You said to me in the car today you were enjoying Torchwood
Yeah.
For the relationships between the characters.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And like, Gwen is a nosy biddy.
Oh, well, ask
Let
about
Jack
Estelle.
have his secrets, boy. He doesn't have to tell you everything, love. You're new. You just don't know you for 2 weeks.
Yeah. True. But wouldn't you be curious if it was you? You would.
Maybe.
So, let's talk about Jasmine, the little girl, and her family.
Okay.
So she's got her mum.
The demonic child.
You found her creepy, didn't you?
Yeah. She had one of those like evil child faces. Gleeful. And it's when they're gleeful and like fakely happy, that's what freaks me out.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like, I don't know, it's very hard to describe, but like I really found her like offsetting.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. She's supposed to be unsettling.
Yeah.
Because we had this conversation, we had a bit of a discussion actually right after watching the episode.
Yeah.
Because Roy, her stepdad,
Yeah.
who was a prick, when the fairies killed him, and Jasmine was laughing at that, you said, "Oh, I hope she dies now," didn't you? Because you felt like, well, you tell me.
How I felt in that moment is I felt like
You said
she's laughing at someone's death.
Yeah.
And she's laughing at someone effectively being tortured to death.
Mm.
Any other TV show, she'd be labelled as a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like,
but
and
my response to that is I don't think it's her fault, because I see it that she's been kind of brainwashed by these creatures because they've chosen her as their chosen one.
Yeah.
And they've sort of infected her, and she's not really herself anymore. Yeah. Like, so, you know, it wasn't necessarily her laughing at it. It was probably the fairy part of her that had been growing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, like...
But he deserved whatever came to him. He was an arsehole.
Yes.
The things he said and did, like, when she said she was waving at friends, and he was like, "You don't have friends." And, like, the way he treats her when her mum's not looking.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Roy is an abuser.
And that glee he got, you know, when he wanted to stop her going down the garden and he went and put the fence up. Yeah. The glee he got just from, like, oh, he's going to upset her. Like, that's going to upset her.
Like, Roy was an abuser.
Yeah.
And, like, I do believe...
So I think watching it, you get satisfaction from him getting his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's horrific. And, like, for Lynn as well, like...
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Like, now, Jasmine knows that she's going to go off. She knows that the fairies are welcoming her. So she's going to turn into one of those ugly bitches.
Yeah.
What a fate. And basically, she knows she's going to go off. She's just had Roy killed, and so her mum is now distraught on her own.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
And I just think, like, it just shows that she's not thinking about anyone but herself.
No, exactly. But this is the thing that Torchwood does, because you can do this in Torchwood. You don't have to tie everything up in a neat little package like you do in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
You can have endings that are quite bleak.
Yeah.
And you can tell stories that don't end happily and stuff, you know.
So what I found in the end, like, I was struggling to follow a little bit because the voices were a bit, I don't know.
The fairy voices.
Yeah, I found them a bit hard to follow.
Yeah.
I have really bad ears, just to let people know.
Yeah, we do have the subtitles on. But...
yeah, but I don't always read them. But, like, Jack asked them if he gave her to them, will they leave everyone alone?
Yeah, they said yes.
So basically, do they just go through time, like jump through time, and basically just like find children that? Because I do think this episode's a massive like what's the word, like metaphor for trauma.
Yeah, 100%.
And like Jasmine, if you saw it as a very different way, the awful man at the beginning in the car,
the pedo.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You could interpret it that
it happened.
Yeah, and this is her
protecting herself.
Yeah, her, what's the word? Yeah, I know what you mean.
And you could go along the lines of like, actually, no, this is Jasmine killing them.
Oh god, yeah, that's
and she's actually, these voices are in her head and they're telling her to kill them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
yeah.
that's a very long. That's a bit of a twist. And
No, but that's art, isn't it? That's stories. You can get what you want from them.
like thinking about it now and thinking about it that way, it also for me has a very like childhood suicide ending.
Oh God, yeah. No, it is. It's very bleak. It's very bleak.
Yeah, it's a very bleak story that when you think about it and analyse it a little bit more, you think actually, no, this is actually a very like intellectual episode. Doesn't come across that way, but it is. Like whoever wrote it with an idea of saying like wanted to portray something.
Yeah. But that's the thing, we're thinking about it now and we're talking about it now, like, and I think all good stories do that. They stay with you in some way.
Yeah. I wasn't sad that Roy died. I was more sad for Lynn.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she chose an awful man, but yeah.
But people hide. Look at that, how he was acting around just her and him.
Exactly.
Like, he didn't want the baggage.
Yeah.
He didn't want the baggage that Jasmine was. And Jasmine was getting bullied and like severely bullied.
Yeah.
And those two girls were awful and like been there, done that. Not the bully, I was the person on the floor.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah.
And like when Jasmine was asked, you don't want to mention their names.
Yeah,
because you're scared what they'll do.
Jasmine, did someone push you? Don't know, miss.
How do you not know, love? They were just there beside you. Like children know their bullies, but they also protect their bullies because they don't want to be bullied more than what they were.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean,
so that's why we put trusted adults into the rooms to teach them and to guide them through life and to kind of catch these things when they see them. Like, but it doesn't always happen, does it?
No, things do fly under the radar,
which is sad. But yeah,
I also increasingly as life goes on, I look at things more and more through a neurodivergent lens. And like with Jasmine, you know, if you take away all the fairy side of the story and just that she was acting the way she was acting, she always wanted to play down the garden. You know, she didn't have much conversation with her parents and stuff, or, you know, mum and stepdad. And they were like, oh, this is bad, there's something wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like, she could be autistic or whatever, like that doesn't mean there's something wrong with her. Like, so what if she wants to play down the garden? That if that makes her happy, it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah, like I used to always be playing down the garden on my own. I had a stick.
Yeah.
That I had for many moons.
Right.
And I used to pretend to be Angemon and like literally 5 points. I'm not going to tell you the show that he's from. 5 points if you can tell me where Angemon is from.
Am I allowed to say?
No, that's I'll answer it. I'll see if anybody gets in the comments.
Okay, if anyone can, yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, but like I used to pretend to be them. I used to pretend that I used to be the love child between Storm and Wolverine.
Right, yeah.
And I was called Ice Claw.
But that's the thing, as well as you and me and Jasmine, we all know what it's like to be an outsider and to be bullied and picked on.
Yeah.
And it is comforting to escape to somewhere that's of your own creation. Yeah. Because it's protecting yourself, isn't it? Yeah. So again, you know, it's that.
Yeah. I used to tell my teddy like all the things I wanted to get off my chest.
Yeah.
I used to like how cuddle him, and his face used to be near my face, and I used to whisper all the things I wanted to get off my chest.
Oh.
And I just needed to just vent and like.
You've still got that teddy to this day.
I do still have that teddy to this day.
Are you okay with this being in the episode? It's quite personal.
I don't care.
You don't mind?
But no, yeah.
You're a sweetheart.
Some people have hard lives.
Yeah.
And it's just...
The thing is, sorry, but I have to say that you to listeners who don't know you, you might come across as you're quite a ball buster and you're quite like hard, but actually you're a softie. You're a massive softie, like you're incredibly soft on the inside, which is why you've built up this hard exterior to protect it.
Like, Stephen will attest to this, like, I mask a lot.
You do, yeah.
And like, I hide the real Ben. Like when we're just sat home together, like we have inside jokes. We've been together for a long time, so we have inside jokes, and like it's probably the only times that you'll hear us laugh from the belly.
Yeah.
together because we are so comfortable around each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that's what happens though. Like
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyhow, let's move on.
Yeah. It's an interesting episode, isn't it? Again, I think it's one that's probably not really well liked among fandom, but
yeah, because it's too fantasy, I think, and a lot of them have signed up for this sci-fi
thing, yeah,
alien-y show, but no, I enjoyed it. It is a bleak episode, and the more we talk about it, the more you think, oh, could it be this? Could it be that?
Yeah.
And I like to think that no, these fairies did protect her.
Yeah.
And I like to think that like they were protecting her because they had chosen her.
Mm.
Do I think that she should have faded off? No.
That's the thing. If we take it literally at face value, Jack chose to sacrifice one child for the sake of the world.
70 million people.
Yeah. Was he right to do that? You think he was? Mm-hmm. Ben's nodding.
100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Well.
Okay, here's my view on this. Sacrifice one, save 7 billion. Don't sacrifice one, kill 7 billion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to adjust. And like, if I was ever in those shoes, I would probably melt and be a puddle on the floor. But when you watch it on TV, you like realise actually he sacrificed this.
I mean, it's an ethical dilemma, isn't it? It's like the trolley problem. You know, there's a cart going along and it can fork, it can split into 2 tracks or 3 tracks, and you've got to decide. Well, it's gonna hit either this person or this person or this person. Yeah. Like you've got to decide who's the best person for it to kill. Like it's an ethical
trolley killing someone.
Like running them over.
The train.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a classic problem. Anything else about Small World? I find the inclusion of the paedophile character quite
putting.
Yeah, it's quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't.
Obviously,
like
it's supposed to be, but
I think that it would have been like I thought it was her dad at first.
Oh, like checking up on her
and being like she wasn't really allowed to. He wasn't allowed to be around her. But like then I was just thinking, oh no, yeah, I did find him a bit off-putting.
It was a bit like one of those, those like videos that you watch at school, like to warn you of the dangers of strangers and things. You know, like when he stopped the car and he was like, "Oh, your mum said she's running a bit late. I'm going to pick you up," and stuff like that. Yeah, really uncomfortable.
And I thought to this day, like that parents had to pick their children up.
Yes.
Or do they? Because don't children have to have written permission to be able to go home on their own?
Yeah. Well, I work in a school, and certainly that's how it is these days. 2006. I can't imagine it was that different.
For me,
yeah,
I went to a village primary school, so from mum picked me up till year 5.
Yeah.
And then year 6, she was like, "No, you got to walk home on your own. You got to walk."
Yeah, but did she have to give written permission?
No.
See, I think I started walking home in year 6, and I don't think we had to give permission. But Jasmine was how old do you think? 7?
Yeah, 7, 8.
Yeah, I think it was another one of those things. Like,
and like waiting outside the school gate, I think that's not a done thing either.
No, it's not. That was very strange. It could. I mean, you could just explain it as it was written by someone who's not
educational professional.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the people watching it aren't going to be. So
yeah,
but yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, so those are the latest 2 episodes of Torchwood that we've watched. I'm very excited to watch the next 2 because they're 2 good ones in my opinion. But yeah, so you said Small Worlds was your favourite so far. Do you stand by that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I would say it's my favourite in terms of the gang.
Yeah,
and like definitely Jack. I really like Jack in this episode.
Yeah.
And Estelle. Yeah. It was creepy at the end, wasn't it? When you zoomed in, you saw Jasmine's face. Oh,
I thought that was really unnecessary. I thought that was so cheesy and unnecessary.
We know as people that those faces are fake.
Yes.
So I didn't understand.
No, it made no sense.
What was the need? We know that,
and then they just zoom in, and it's some weird photoshopped picture of this little girl's face. And it was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
where does Cyberwoman fit into things?
Probably...
Is it worse than Everything Changes, or
It's in between just before the bottom one.
worse than the sex gas?
One up.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it goes... Everything Changes, Sex Gas,
Then Cyberwoman,
then Cyberwoman.
then Ghost Machine, then Small Worlds.
Yeah.
Cool. I've currently got Everything Changes at the top for me.
Oh, God, Gwen heals from killing someone very quickly, isn't she?
When did she kill someone?
She killed someone in Ghost Machines.
No, not really. She was holding the knife, but he threw himself on her. I know she was traumatized and she thought she'd killed him, but everyone, the rest of the team, kept telling her, no, he killed himself. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying, but yeah. Small Worlds for me. I think discussing it with you, there's so much to it. I do think I'm going to put that above Everything Changes. I'm going to put that at the top. And then Cyberwoman. Yeah, I'll put it just above Day One because it has the great performances from like Gareth David Lloyd, who plays Yanto. I think that elevates it, even though and like you said, the concept of the story is quite good. It just wasn't executed very well. But I think Day One has got to stay at the bottom for me. Like it's pretty unforgivable. Interestingly, Day One and Cyberwoman were both written by Chris Chibnall, or Chob as you like to call him.
That doesn't bode well.
For his era of Doctor Who. Yeah.
Why does the BBC like putting crap people in the head of on their like primetime shows?
Well, the thing is, it's subjective, isn't it? And just because
it's not subjective.
So far, we don't
it?
like his writing.
Yeah, it comes across of like, oh, he's a man. He's been doing this for a long time. Let's give it to him.
Yeah, you do have a point with that. Yeah.
Like, why can't we have a woman showrunner?
I'd love to have a female showrunner.
Right.
I think it's long overdue.
There is like, women are just as good as men. Get with it.
I know that.
Good.
Yeah. So at time of recording, our episode on Invasion of the Bane, the Sarah Jane Adventures, has just come out. And we had a comment from Louisa on Instagram. And she just said it was so sweet that you loved it. And she definitely thinks it'll be worth watching certain stories from Sarah Jane. But we'll leave that for now. But yeah, it's in the back of my mind. We'll see how you feel.
Sarah Jane and Doctor Who.
I'm just now we're not watching Doctor Who. I'm really excited to get back to it and get back to Series 3. So,
Yeah.
But yes, until next time, you can find us in all the usual places.
Instagram.
At About Time Cast.
TikTok.
At About Time Podcast.
Email.
You always forget Twitter.
Email.
At abouttimecast@gmail.com.
Tweet.
About Time Cast.
Instagram.
We've done that one. Ben, I love you to bits, but you can be so irritating sometimes.
Tweet.
I think this is the cue that it's time to finish. Oh, and thank you to those who've started to join the Discord and have discussions on there.
Are you on it?
It's a little bit quiet at the moment. It's just sort of starting, but a few people have popped their heads in, which is really nice. So, the more the merrier. Come and join the fun. The link will be in the show notes of this episode and any future episodes going forward.
Is Aaron an admin?
Yes, he is. Yeah, together with me.
Aaron is our admin on Discord. Thank you, Aaron, on Discord.
There you go. Another jingle. But yeah, we're going to go now. So cheers for listening. Cheers? Why did I say cheers? Who do I think I am?
Common Cockney man.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I am eternally grateful to you for listening. And we shall see you next time. But until then, stay fantastic.
I'm getting bored of that now. We need a new one.
For Torchwood, we could say stay fucking fantastic.
No, we could say stay woody. No.
Okay, that's it for now. Stay woody.
Bye.
Bye.